Urgent Birds fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest birds news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Eagles Eye 3 blockbuster options. As post Myles Garrett goal plan B with free agency right around the corner, the incoming pool of players available for the Philadelphia Eagles has changed drastically. Philadelphia is in the market to bolster their already dominant pass rush following the expected free agent departures of both Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. But while top names like Harold Landry and Myles Garrett have come off the market, there are still plenty of names for the Birds to show interest in. And there are three names blockbuster moves, in a sense, that make the most sense for their incoming defense. Joey Bosa. If the Eagles want to continue to build a championship contender, then signing Joey Bosa makes a ton of sense. At 29 years, old Bosa has dealt with injuries in recent years, but could excel in a part-time role that is expected of him if he joined a team like the Eagles. Haason Reddick. Yes, a reunion with Haason Reddick makes a ton of sense for Philadelphia. Reddick was one of the more dominant edge rushers during his time with the Eagles, but failed to produce much with the New York Jets after sitting out of camp looking for a long-term deal. A return home could be what is best for both parties. Josh Sweat. Outside of Reddick, the player that makes the most sense for the Eagles is to simply bring back Sweat. Landry's $14 million a year contract should show the kind of market Sweat is walking into, and that could force the Eagles into making a decision to bring him back on a fair deal over deciding to try their luck with other free agents or the draft. The Landry signing could change everything for the franchise at this rate. Steelers lose CB Dante Jackson to Chargers, but agree to deal with Darius Slay pending release from Eagles. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost a starting cornerback Monday on the first day of legal tampering, and they are negotiating with a six-time Pro Bowl player to replace him. Dante Jackson, who was acquired in the trade last March that sent Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers, has agreed to a 2-year, $13 million contract with the Los Angeles Chargers, ESPN reported. Jackson, 29, started 15 games at cornerback in his first season with the Steelers, and he led the team with 5 interceptions. But Jackson was bothered by a back injury late in the season, and that could have led to the Steelers looking for his replacement. On Monday, that search led them to Darius Slay, who will become a free agent once he officially is released by the Philadelphia Eagles. Fox Sports reported that Slay has agreed to terms with the Steelers. The Jackson and Slay deals won't become official until at least Wednesday, when the NFL calendar begins. Slay spent 7 seasons with the Detroit Lions and 5 with the Eagles, winning a Super Bowl in 2024. He has made 167 starts in his career, including 14 last season. He was scheduled to count $765 million against Philadelphia's salary cap, and he is being released so the Eagles could groom younger players at cornerback. I know I'm 34. I know. I'm way out of my prime, but still playing at an elite level, Slay said on his Big Play Slay podcast after being informed he would be released. Slay's contract with the Eagles will count as $706 million in dead money unless he is released with a post-June 1st designation. That would reduce the amount of dead money against the Eagles to $441 million. Slay would start opposite corner Joey Porter Jr., who will be paired with a different cornerback partner for the 3rd year in a row. Slay has 28 career interceptions, including a career-high 8 with the Lions in 2017, when he was a first-team All-Pro pick for the only time in his career. He didn't have any last season. He made the Pro Bowl as recently as 2023. The Steelers could continue to address the position in free agency and the NFL draft. The Steelers also are developing 3rd-year corner Corey Trice Jr., who has been limited to 6 games and 1 start in 2 seasons because of injuries. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Eagles Nation news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Eagles lose Josh Sweat to NFC rival. In free agency, the Arizona Cardinals are bolstering their pass rush by signing former Philadelphia Eagles edge rusher Josh Sweat to a lucrative 4-year, $76.4 million deal with $41 million guaranteed, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Monday. The signing reunites Sweat with Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon, who served as Philadelphia's defensive coordinator before taking the Arizona job last year. This connection likely played a significant role in bringing the veteran pass rusher to the desert. Sweat spent the first 7 years of his career in Philadelphia, developing into one of the Eagles' most reliable defensive players after taking over a full-time starting role in 2021. He was instrumental in the Eagles' championship run last season, helping lead the team to victory in Super Bowl LAX. Over his 7 seasons with Philadelphia, Sweat accumulated 237 combined tackles, including 54 for loss and 43. 0 sacks, the 27-year-old's departure continues a concerning exodus of talent from the defending Super Bowl champions. Philadelphia's defense, which dominated opponents throughout their championship season, is experiencing a significant overhaul this offseason. Just days after losing defensive tackle Milton Williams to the New England Patriots on a 4-year, $26 million per year contract, the Eagles now see another key defensive lineman depart. Additionally, Philadelphia's secondary is undergoing a massive transformation as cornerback Isaiah Rodgers heads to the Minnesota Vikings and veteran cornerback Darius Slay reportedly closes in on a deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sweat represents a major upgrade to an Arizona pass rush that has struggled in recent seasons. Gannon, familiar with Sweat's capabilities from their time together in Philadelphia, will likely deploy him as the centerpiece of the Cardinals' revamped defensive front. The Cardinals are hoping Sweat can replicate or exceed his production from Philadelphia, where he established himself as one of the league's most consistent edge defenders. With Gannon's defensive scheme already familiar to him, Sweat should have a smooth transition to his new team. Meanwhile, the Eagles face the challenge of replacing multiple defensive stars as they attempt to defend their Super Bowl title. The organization will need to rely on remaining veterans and developing young talent to fill the voids left by these departures. Pittsburgh Steelers in talks to sign ex-Philadelphia Eagles All-Pro cornerback. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in deep talks with former Philadelphia Eagles cornerback Darius Slay, according to multiple reports. Slay is likely to sign with the Steelers after he is released by the Eagles, which he has not yet been, and that could be their answer at outside cornerback. Slay has lots of Steelers connections. The obvious one is assistant general manager Andy Weidel, who is deeply connected to the Eagles organization from working under Howie Roseman. However, and the more significant connection is his former defensive coordinator in Detroit, Terrell Austin. Austin, now the Steelers' defensive coordinator, was Slay's coach for 4 seasons at the beginning of his career with the Lions. Now, it could mean Slay gets to play in a scheme he is comfortable in under Austin. Slay played in Vic Fangio's heavy quarters scheme while with the Eagles, and will now be switching to more of a cover 3 and man coverage scheme. Slay revealed that 2 years ago the Steelers tried to recruit him, and he had almost played for them. He has always wanted to play for Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches in the NFL, man, Slay said on his podcast, Big Play Slay. What's so crazy is I almost was going to them too. They hit me up too. TJ Watt texted me, Cam Hayward texted me, and they talked about me coming there. Before I ever got to make a decision, they signed Pat Pete, so they kind of chilled out for a minute. But I was almost a Pittsburgh Steeler as well. Slay has 1, maybe 2 years left in him at 34 years old. The Steelers, after their immediate moves on Sunday and Monday, seem to believe they are in a winnow mode and are going Allen. Slay fits that window while also not shutting off the path for Corey Trice to improve and become the answer. And now, Birds fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Birds. I'll be back any moment with more Eagles Nation news. Fly, Eagles, fly.